Contractors, the reality is you probably are not the best at asking questions. You are very good at talking. In fact, you are so good at talking that is a big part of the reason why you believe that you've gotten to this place doing $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, even $5 million a year in sales every year in your construction business. And that's not an easy thing. Like, as a remodel contractor or a custom home builder, more so for remodel contractors, pushing like 5 million plus a year, it requires to have some skill set, some understanding of how human behavior works. But how many times, I couldn't count on one hand, how many times have I heard, and I guess I'm asking myself this question, of contractors who do pretty decently, but struggle so much with the one basic thing. And in this video, I want to cover this basic thing in a way that you will be able to understand today, apply tomorrow, and hopefully make some money from a week from now, 2 weeks from now, or a couple months from now. If you don't know who I am, my name is Lev Parsegian. I'm the founder of Cosmosify, a consulting agency that helps remodel contractors and custom home builders bring order to their business so they can hopefully make some more money. I'm making this video because for a couple of reasons. One, because I'm making videos like this every day, and I want to educate as many contractors who are doing $2 million plus in revenue, so eventually we can work together. But two, I'm doing this so that we can stop the poor question pandemic that has taken place and permeated through the construction industry for a very long period of time. Let me tell you guys a story. When I was working at T-Mobile back in from 2015 to 2019, one of the most life-changing moments that I had was when I stepped onto the sales floor for the very first time. And I had a leader at the time who was pretty much a mentor to me, basically told me, you need to stop talking. You need to shut your mouth when you get someone in front of you. And I'm like, well, I'm selling to them, right? Like, I'm supposed to be selling them a phone plan, a phone, accessories, headphones, speakers, and all this type of stuff, no? And he basically told me simply, the selling happens with the questions that you ask, not the statements that you make. And I was like, that sounds like some sort of, proverbial puzzle that I can't really grasp. And so in my head, I was like, this guy, he's working at T-Mobile after all these years. He probably doesn't know that much, right? I was very wrong. And so I'm saying this because I've learned over the years that the quality of the questions that you ask lead to the quality of the outcomes that you want as well. And so oftentimes when I work with contractors, and I've worked with contractors now for a pretty long time over these last, especially 4 years with Cosmosify, I've seen contractors who also think the same way that I used to think when I was 19, 20 years old. And it's that I am the face of the company. I am the business. If I just talk to them and educate them about our framing crews, or, how we have been working with our HVAC contractor or our electrical sub for this period of time, or that, we'll be able to schedule things out in a way that doesn't interfere with their day-to-day life and all this crap, all this nonsense, that maybe I'll win the job, you'll win the job. But the thing is that jobs are not won with statements. They're won with questions, but not just any regular questions. Okay. You may be thinking, well, dude, I ask questions all the time, right? Like I ask my people when I get on my qualifying calls, or on my intro calls, or, whatever you call them, like screening calls. For us, we call them initial calls, right? And so on an initial call, you'll say, do you have the budget? I want to ask y'all, how much do you actually believe that is a good question? Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how does that question land? Does it land at a 10? Like, oh my gosh, this is such a core key question to have in my arsenal, and if I didn't have this question in my arsenal, then I just wouldn't make any money. Is it a 10? Or is it at a 1 where it's like, I could probably throw out this question and not use it at all? I'm going to ask y'all this question so you could think about it, but I'll answer it for you too. It's probably closer to a 1. Do you have a budget? Do you have a preference? Would you like this? I struggle coming up with close-ended questions, frankly. Yes or no questions. That's what a close-ended question is, right? It's something that puts the ball in the court of the homeowner for them to answer with a yes or a no, which then leaves you in an awkward position because now you have to come up with something else. And I say that these are bad questions to ask because these are not the questions that open up the prospect, which is kind of ironic because I feel like open-ended questions actually open up the prospect or open up the sales interaction so that you can actually lead the person to the water so that they can ultimately come to the right decision about yourself and moving forward with you. And so the way that I like to put it is like this. For every one close-ended question that you ask, you need to be asking anywhere between 7 to 10 open-ended questions. What's an example? Can you tell me about what your vision is for the project? Why specifically is that important? How does that show up on a day-to-day basis? What would impact that from taking place? Okay. What is your day-to-day family routine look like? And what would keep your family routine from taking place if we don't do this project? You see what I'm saying is like, I'm starting a lot of my questions with what and how. And a lot of the open-ended questions, they could actually even start sounding like they're statements. Can you tell me? Or just tell me about this. Or why specifically did you take the time out of your busy day to meet with me today? I mean, you're not meeting with just any and every contractor. Why specifically did you want to meet with me? These are the types of questions, guys, that if you map it out and scientifically engineer your sales process, you will increase just by way of the question, just by the quality of the questions that you ask, you will increase your number one, closing percentage, but number two, you will be able to increase your prices as well. Because when you ask better questions, you also have a higher perceived value in the mind of the homeowner and the prospect. You get me? Like, if you ask better questions, the homeowner will be like, oh shoot, okay, well, ABC Construction didn't ask this when they came over to present a bid yesterday, or when they came over to scope out our project. They didn't ask me that. I feel like they were just kind of clinical, and they started talking about all the features, and we started getting to selections and all the minutia. Stuff that doesn't matter. Guys, we are in the residential space, and I love residential construction so much because there's a huge emotional element to residential construction. These are people's homes. I say this all the time, that like, it's not like you are running a commercial project where like scopes are super defined and it's all about operational efficiency. Homeowners will make decisions that may be outside of their initial budget just because it's their home. It's where they reside, their family resides, it's where they make memories, okay? And so to price yourself out because you're afraid of rejection when it comes to increasing your prices, or, oh, I don't want to ask questions like that because I'm going to sound like a therapist instead of a contractor, those are the reasons why your company is not growing. You're taking advice, like, or maybe you're not taking advice, but maybe you're modeling your business after other broke contractors who are all modeling their business after other broke contractors in your local area. If you don't want to be broke, don't model the broken, okay? And if you want a business that is profitable, sustainable, and enjoyable, and that has some order in it, then I would recommend that you take a page out of my book from close to 10 years ago. Actually, no, 10 years ago to date. Take take a page out of my book from my T-Mobile days and stop talking so much. When you do ask questions, ask better ones. Ask open-ended questions. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I can't wait to hear what your guys' favorite open-ended questions are in the comments. Shoot me a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you got value from this. Share it with a contractor, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.